It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? The Geno Jones Show. I'll come to you live Monday through Friday. Normal start times, start days, 6:30, right around 6:30, because I just got chewed out by my mother, who literally, as I was going on the air, said, Jeannie, you not on the air, because I'm about to push the button to go on the air, mother. You late? Yes, it was 6:31. I was a minute late. So, but hey, it's my show. It's my network. You know, I get a little grace. You know, I can, a little CP time. You know, what you expect. You know, brother, give her brother at least give or take a minute or two. I love my mother. She keeps me on my toes. I like that. That's right. She's like, you supposed to be punctual, Jeannie, 6:30. You know, but sometimes life happens. Anyway, I digress, because I know she's watching. She's probably laughing. Like I said, she's my number one fan. She's my executive producer. And, when I need to be chewed out, she will chew me out. So, what I'm saying. Thank everybody. I want to thank you for watching. Happy New Year. My first live show was on yesterday, Wednesday. So today is day number 2. There was not going to be a live show tomorrow because I got something very big that I'm working on. But I think I'm still going to just come on camera because there's so much to talk about. And I'm not going to have time to really take the deepest dive today because I have guests. There's going to be another huge event. You've seen Cedrick, brother Al Bannister with the Crate Group and the Triple E program. They had a great event. It was like an awards gala and the pre-red carpet event. As a matter of fact, I hear that there's a video out. We'll have to find out how you can order that video. If it's for sale, they should put it on sale. It was an amazing show. But I digress. So we have Cedrick Al Bannister from the Crate Group and Dawn Boren, who's also with the Crate Group, the cultural director and the director, speaking of director, of Jenkins Orphanage, Lindracia. Y'all didn't think I could say that. A.K.A. Daniela Lindracia, right? They will all be on with me shortly. First of all, happy birthdays to my Aquarius is celebrating a birthday out there. R&B star, soon-to-be superstar, Coco Jones. She really was like one of the it artists. Her and SZA probably had like the biggest year in terms of black female R&B singers back in 2023. Yes, 2020. God, it's hard to keep up. Coco Jones, who her first name, her real name is Courtney. Courtney Coco Jones is 26 today. NFL star, NFL really superstar running back, one of the greatest ever. Currently playing for the Tennessee Titans. From Jacksonville, Florida, Derrick Henry. The big trade today, 30. The big trade 0. Now, if you were a fan of the 90s show sitcom Girlfriends, you had Tracy Ellis Ross, and you had Jill Marie Jones, who played Tony. Well, it's Tony's birthday, Miss Jill Marie Jones. Happy birthday, 49 today. And the Queen, like they say, the Queen Bee. Well, Queen Bee's Queen, Mama Queen, Tina Knowles is 70, the big 70 today. Happy birthday to Miss Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom. And, of course, she's a fashion designer. The House of Darion. Some of y'all got some of those House of Darion jeans in your closet right now. Can you still fit them? Can you fit in them? If they've been in your closet for a while, maybe you can't fit in them. A little too much good eating and drinking over the holiday, you can knock off those pounds. The first of the year, isn't that your New Year's resolution? You can go get a gym membership and you're going to lose that 20, 25 pounds that you gained from Thanksgiving to New Year's Eve parties and dinners, right? Well, when you do that, you can get back in your House of Darion jeans, right? Happy heavenly birthday to Miss Denise Matthews. Now, you're saying Denise Matthews. Is that the sister that she got the hair salon and they braid, then they sell weed in the back and edibles? No, not that Denise. I know that Denise that you're thinking about. It's not that Denise. It's Vanity. Remember Vanity? Vanity 6, remember the song? Nasty Girls, one of Prince's ex-girlfriends, one of many. He knew how to pick them. I can't get mad at Prince with his little short, sawed-off ass. I don't know what it was. I don't think I want to know what it was. Please, don't even tell me whatever it was. But whatever he was doing, it must have been doing something right because he could pick them. So Vanity would have been, well, she would have been 65 today. She was born in 1959. True story. How did Vanity and Prince meet? Vanity was on a date. Well, Vanity and Rick James went to the American Music Awards. So she was his date for the night. I don't know how long they'd been kicking it. But Prince met Vanity as she was out with Rick James at the American Music Awards one year. And the rest is history. I mean, Rick was a bad man, but he wasn't Prince. And I guess Rick said, "I'm Rick James, bitch. And this is my blank Vanity." And Prince was like, "Ladies and gentlemen," you know how Prince would do that little thing, and y'all, I don't need to tell you what else. Come on, the rest is history. You've seen Prince on stage. Something you saw him in Vanity. So I digress. So happy birthday to all my Aquarius is celebrating a birthday. Now the internet. Oh man, social media. All these social media platforms. The internet is on fire. So Katt Williams had to sit down, get drunk, and he wasn't even drunk. And he was just talking about spill. He didn't spill the tea. He spilled all the cognac. I mean, the Crown Royal, you know, the little purple bag, you know, with the little string that folks used to put their money and wallet in, hanging on the visor they get. That little Crown Royal bag. Not that kind of cognac, the top shelf cognac. So he was on Shannon Sharp, who's currently on ESPN. He was on with Skip Bayless on Fox Sports with Undisputed. A Hall of Famer, tight end, played for the Denver Broncos, won a Super Bowl with Denver, and then won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. So Shannon's been doing TV for a while. He was on Fox Sports with Skip for about 8 years. Last year, he went over and joined Stephen A. Smith on First Take. So he's got a show / podcast show on YouTube, Club Shay Shay, which is like his nickname for Shannon Sharp. They call him Shay Shay. So they sit down, they got a fireplace, they got two nice leather chairs. So, you know, Shannon all swole like, you know, somebody that took, you know, all kind of injections and shot him in his ass. But he's clean. He ain't juicing. He just like to live. He was always kind of swole like that. So Shannon in one leather chair and Katt Williams was in the other chair. So Shannon Sharp asked Katt Williams about this story about Cedrick the Entertainer stealing one of his jokes. Oh my God, that was the match that set like the wildfire that they had in Maui. It was bigger than that. Because Shannon lit that match, and Katt Williams was just flame on and just woo! Let everybody, as Nelly would say, let everybody have it. So he talked about how Cedrick the Entertainer stole a joke that he did on Comic View back in 1998, stole it, remixed it, and changed the car to like a spaceship and did it on the Kings of Comedy. And look, he didn't spare nobody. Kevin Hart got it. Said Earthquake couldn't read. I'm telling you, a 2-hour and 46-minute conversation. The last I checked, about 30 minutes ago, 8.2 million views. Katt, you got to come on my show, bro. Come on. Spread the love. Help a brother out. 8.2, I might retire. No, because I love what I'm doing. And it's my company, my show. But anyway, he talked about so much, and I want to take a deep dive tomorrow because I do have guests. But there's one thing he talked about. He lit into Steve Harvey too. He lit into Kevin Hart. But he told a story about how Steve Harvey basically, and I guess Steve's team kind of went behind Bernie's back when Bernie really started doing movies. Well, the main movie, it was when he did the first Oceans movie. Because, you know, Bernie Mac was part of that whole Oceans 11, Oceans 12, Oceans 13 franchise. So he talked about how, according to what Katt said, that Steve Harvey and his team went behind Bernie's back and were telling people in Hollywood, basically, you don't want to hire him. He ain't this. He ain't that funny. That, you know, I'm funnier. That my man Steve Harvey is funnier. Now, like I said, Katt Williams, there was a whole bunch of folks that caught strays. Everybody from, like I said, from Cedrick the Entertainer to Earthquake to Kevin Hart to Ricky Smiley, talking about the Money Mike role. I'm going to get into that. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to take a real deep dive. But the story that he told about Steve Harvey and Steve's team basically going around behind Bernie's back and trying to undermine Bernie and talk to people in Hollywood not to give him the movie role, but to give it to Steve Harvey. I cannot confirm or deny anything that Katt Williams said. I can't, with firsthand knowledge, I can't, but I believe every word he said. But I can't confirm firsthand anything that Katt Williams said but one thing. And the story that he told about Steve Harvey, I can guarantee you with 1,000% certainty that story is not a lie. How do I know it's not a lie? Because Bernie Mac told me on multiple occasions. I first met Bernie back in around 1991 when the Def Comedy Jam they were touring that show. It was, you know, Def Comedy Jam started off on TV with Russell Simmons, and then it became a tour. And they would go to different cities. I was doing a morning radio show in Pittsburgh. So the Def Comedy Jam came to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the early 90s. I believe 91. I didn't say 91. I don't think it was 92. And they would usually send one of the comedians, one of the headliners from Def Comedy Jam to like the local radio station to come on and basically get everybody hyped to buy tickets to come out and see the show. That's when I met Bernie. Bernie grew up on the south side of Chicago. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Bernie went to Chicago Vocational High School. I went to Dunbar Vocational High School. And I learned that when I got a chance to have Bernie on my radio show back in the early 90s. So that's how we met and became fast friends. Grew up same side of town. Bernie was older than me, but still, you know, we traveled the same circles. Grew up about 3 miles apart from each other in Inglewood. So let's move it to, I'd say, 93, 94. I was doing radio in Chicago. But Bernie Mac lived about 2 blocks from me, right around the corner. Block and a half, 2 blocks. Cityfront place, townhomes. I lived in a high-rise right on the lake. And Bernie told me that story, that he had found out that Steve Harvey and or people on Steve's team, management or whatever, basically was trying to undermine what he was doing and bad-mouthing him and telling these Hollywood power people, the Hollywood types that will determine whether you get a movie role, telling them that, no, y'all don't need to hire. What do you want with Bernie Mac? He ain't this, and, you know, Steve Harvey is funnier and he's bigger. The man, Bernie Mac, told me more than one time. And Bernie said he was hurt by that. Because Bernie was not that kind of dude. So, like I said, there was a lot said in 2 hours and 45 minutes. And there's a lot. Was Katt Williams, is he angry? Is he jay? Is he jealous? He may be a lot of things. And he may have lied about some of it, which I doubt. Because Katt really, one thing about Katt, even to his fault, he gonna tell it like it. He gonna tell too much. And some people think he's did that now, has done that now. But the story about what happened in terms of Steve Harvey kind of just undermining, bad-mouthing Steve Harvey and his team, Bernie, back in the 90s, I'm confirming that because Bernie Mac told me that 30 years ago. So I just wanted to set the record straight because there's so much talk. You know, what's up with Katt? Why is he doing this? And that's just Katt Williams being Katt. So, but he spilled, like I said, all the cognac. Ain't Crown Royal ain't got no more cognac anywhere in America now. Because Katt Williams, I think, spilled it all. So I digress. We'll get into that, take a deeper dive tomorrow. Let me bring on my guests. They've been so patient. Cedrick Al Bannister, friend, family member, part of the Geno Jones family, the Crate Group, the Triple E program, doing great work in the community. Had this incredible black tie gala on December 17th that you all heard me talk about. That Satan tried to stop me from showing up, canceled flights, and folks wouldn't rent me a rental car because I had the wrong credit card and all that. Uber ride, $200 Uber ride, didn't matter. Satan was not going to win that day, and I wasn't going to let my man down. So he's back on the show with Dawn Boren from the Crate Group. She is the cultural director, and Miss Lindracia. I could see her out of the corner of my eye on one of my monitors. She was waiting to see if I was going to mess up her name. Miss Lindracia Daniela Wright, the director of the Jenkins Orphanage. And on your screen, you see the beautiful and handsome face of Mr. Cedrick Al Bannister, Miss Dawn Boren with the Crate Group, and Miss Lindracia Wright. Don't mess with me. I do this for a living now. You thought you got me, didn't you? She's like, yeah, I got him. Even my man Al tried to help a brother out. But I said, so what would you like for me? Since it's your name, you get the first right of refusal, the only right of refusal. How would you like for me to refer to you as? And she said, can you say Lindracia? And I said, Lindracia, like Lindracia. Bam! Hey, listen, phonics, when they say get hooked on phonics, it works. Because I used to love phonics when I was a kid. I used to always get 100 on my spelling test because I was good at it. So who knew decades later it would pay off? So Happy New Year, everybody. Normally I start off with ladies first. But Brother Cedrick, I'm going to let you because Dawn is part of your organization and you're working with Miss Lindracia. Just got this wonderful event coming up, so why don't you kick it off? And thank you guys for being so patient. I had to tell that story, at least confirm that one story, because Katt Williams is spilling so much damn tea. I'm like, damn, dude. I'm glad he don't know nothing about me, because he that kind of dude. He can't hold water. If he find out, he got to tell somebody. So and I think we all know somebody like that. You can if it's a secret. Don't tell them. We got people in our family. Can't keep it. Don't tell nobody. 30 minutes later, everybody calling, texting you. I thought I told your ass not to tell nobody. I didn't think you really meant don't tell nobody. So, Brother Al, Happy New Year, man.
Hey, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Hey, first of all, Geno, thank you, and thank you for always showing the love, support, having our back, man, for this community. But before I even get started, I want to say happy birthday, belated birthday to your mother. For I knew for the plans of what you guys were doing going into her birthday. So, Mama Jones, happy birthday from South Carolina.
Thank you,
happy
man.
Birthday to you.
She's watching. Yeah, she's watching. She appreciates it. Yeah, she's watching. So, you knew long what everybody knew, but what she did. We got her. I want to show some of that video, so I'm working on it. I'm gonna try to show. It was really, it was special. I mean, awesome. It brought tears to the eyes of strangers who just saw it, just to see the joy that she had, to see all of her kids, all of her grandkids, all of her great grandchildren, all in one room. Her closest living cousins, first cousins. They were there, so it was really special for it to, and it kind of blew my mind because I'm like, all these talented, beautiful, handsome people in this room, she was responsible. Without her, none of us, and it's just amazing to just look at from from this lady came all of this. So that moment kind of just hit me, man, and it really blew me away. So thank you for giving her that shout out.
Awesome, man. So great segue, man. So what the Crate is doing now? The Crate Group has had the delightful privilege to merge and join partnership with the Gullah Geechee corridor of by way of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Florida and Louisiana, and also with the Jenkins Orphanage, who was established in 1891. And so what we're doing, and I'm gonna let Dawn come in pretty soon because she's our cultural awareness director. I'm smart enough to understand that I don't know it all. So we have people in place with the Crate Group to continue the wheels that's already been invented rolling. So Dawn has matriculated daily into the Gullah Geechee corridor frame of life. So just as you said, as far as your mother being the sole person to provide so much people, that's what we're doing in Black history, as far as Black America. Carter G. Woodson back in February 7th, 1926.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, he established Negro Week. Mm-hmm. Then it matriculated to Black History Month. Well, there's so many narratives that are just not right, and we're just going on with it. So it's about changing mindset. So we started off with the gala, which you know the feedback. $85 for a ticket may not be for you, but you have to change your mindset. So now we are going into February, which is considered Black History Month, but you and I both know Black History is 365 days a year.
And this year, Brother Kendrick, it's 366 and a half because it's a leap.
There we go. Leap year. So, and with that being said, we're changing mindsets. So we are trying to disturb and disrupt people. We want you to truly understand that Black history is American history. And the only way to actually say it is to say it, and let's make it happen. So we're going to present to you, and we haven't even put it out yet, so you first, you're the first, Gullah Harambe. Harambe means togetherness. Our goal is in 2027 to have an actual festival, but also we want to bring everybody together so we can do it together. So I would love, and you know me, I would love for in 2027 that there's nothing even to do with the Crate Group name. I'm cool with going in the shadows, and the ultimate thing is getting our community on the same page to grow. So that's my spill on it. I'll tell you a little bit about that weekend, what we got planned already, but I'd like to introduce to you Dawn, Dawn Boren, our cultural awareness director.
Hi, Geno.
Hey, Dawn, thank you. So listen, I'm excited. So you got all the great juicy details. So let everybody know. Yes. I just love the term Gullah Harambe.
And, yes. And Harambe, so do you know what a Harambe
what does that word
is?
mean again?
It means together. Let's pull together in Swahili, but it's also associated with Umoja, which is unity, yes, which we celebrated in Kwanzaa.
Yes.
So, yes, we want to make sure that we are coming together as a community so that we can, like we say, pull together. And we have tons of cool stuff for adults and kids that weekend in February, which is going to be February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to have a lot of businesses in the community. We're going to have, it's going to be fun, Geno. We're talking about sweetgrass. We're talking about foods. In the Gullah Geechee community, you got to have food. You got to have some rice, right? We love to eat.
You got to eat.
You got to eat. And we're also going to have some sessions to educate and just give back to the community. And like I said, we will have events for the children. It's going to be fun. And for adults, we're talking about health. We're talking about wellness, the community. And we're just, our partnership with the Gullah Geechee Heritage Corridor and Jenkins Orphanage, we are just trying to do something for the community that's going to be great.
So Ms. Landracia, I want to ask you a question I mean, it's an obvious question, but I was always taught there's no such thing as a dumb question. Um, what really drew your attention and made you want to make sure that you wanted to, or that it caused you to say, I want to make sure that the Jenkins Orphanage is a part of this wonderful event? What was it that really just hit the spark for you?
Meeting Mr. Bannister was one. Um,
That'll do it every time. It got me too. The first
yes,
time. Yep.
yeah, the first
Oh,
time.
yep. Just one.
Um,
You 15 minutes talking with this brother.
and
So.
and I had a date. So it started out as a conversation. Him coming over here, seeing, what I was doing, what I wanted to do. Then we talked about, Jenkins as a whole, what's going to happen with Jenkins, what's the plan. And I told him, some backstories of Jenkins Orphanage,
And
and how.
if you don't mind, Landracia, please, for the viewers who don't know, those who are not here in the in Charleston, South Carolina metro area, give them a little background on the historical significance of the Jenkins Orphanage.
So Jenkins Orphanage started in 1891 with Reverend Daniel Jenkins. He was in downtown Charleston, and he was walking, and he ran into four young boys. They were in a car, and he ended up taking them in, um, eventually starting an orphanage, um, having a band, like allowing them, he started getting more orphans. They eventually had a traveling band,
Wow.
and that was the way they were able to fund the orphanage at that time. However, they also ended up getting the land that's in North Charleston, now 3923 Azalea Drive, and that says 55 acres today. And we still have it here, but since then, from 1936, when it was donated from to him, um, he raised about 3,000. It was way more, over 3,000 kids in this facility, just within him being here. That's not the overall number, just him under his wing.
Wow.
Um, so the orphanage is no longer here um, at this moment, but however, we are going to keep the mission to continue to support kids,
Do the
have it as
work.
a
The
stay
work
pub
continues,
kids.
right?
Yes.
The work
So
continues.
just because we're not an orphanage, that don't mean we're just going to give up on the kids. So when Mr. Bannister came and we started talking about things to do and what we can do at Jenkins, I was just letting him know one of the things that we could do, well, that I had on my to-do list was a Jenkins festival.
I like
And however we started talking about the same thing, and he was working on one separate and I'm working on one separate. So we're like, why can't we just come together and do something?
Yeah.
So now we're here at the Gullah Harambe.
I love it. The Gullah Harambe. It just it just got the name, it just got swag. It just Gullah Harambe. It's something that you just hear about it. Somebody, I mean, where you going to the Gullah Harambe? Oh damn, I got it. Man, I don't know what it is, but it sounds cool.
Good.
Yep. I want to go. So give us the specifics, the dates again, the times, the location, and do people need tickets? Just give us all the details.
Mr. Bannister, you want that?
So what I do is give you a rundown. So February 2nd, and I forgot to tell you, so we've actually bridged with Claflin University also. They just got an endowment to preserve the Gullah culture. So, so what I'm gonna do is give you a quick breakdown. Vendors are welcome. We have find us on info at thecrategroup.org. We're looking for all vendors. Come on out. We got plenty of people coming through the door, so you'll be able to sell your product or at least let people know you're here. February 2nd, we're gonna do a meet and greet from 4 to 5. from 5:30 to 7 o'clock, we're going to have a dinner and conversation with Dr. Eric. He's a cultural professor at Claflin University. I don't have the ticket price for that yet. I just left the Hilton. Once again, the Hilton Garden Inn of Somerville, full Six Sigma Drive, is one of our sponsors. So
Wonderful.
Big shout out to them. So so you'll be able to have a dinner and conversation with him. But at 7:30, we're opening up the doors to the Azalea Room. That's our whole banquet space downstairs at the conference center, and it's free to the public.
Wow.
And we're having a joy night service. This joy night service is going to be brought from the true, authentic part of African dissect, or should I say dialect, and then with the ring toss singers, we have the St. Helena Island singers coming, the Gullah, the Claflin University choir coming, and then we're going to transcend that night into some up modern day singing and so forth. So that whole night from 7:30 to 10:30, 11 o'clock is a joy night service. I'm not a preacher, but come get your worship on. We're going in that Friday. Friday morning, we open the doors at 10 o'clock. We're going to have a beautiful, true African celebration as you enter the doors. And Dawn has an itinerary to the point where we have upstairs rooms. We have a main floor. So that's from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You can just navigate around as you please, see the vendors, have some true fun, and experience us, our culture, period. As organic and transparent as it may be, us. It is what it is. And then from that point, we're going to shut things down at 5 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock, we're coming back with an actual concert. We're working on a 7-8-piece band who's coming back that night. And we're going to have the actual concert. We got 300 tickets. We've already sold 140 tickets. We don't have a price on it yet.
Wow.
Seriously.
Yes.
So once I put this out by Monday, if you want tickets, you better get them.
Right.
I'm just being honest. Y'all know how the gala went. We sold out.
Sold out.
And we sold out quick. So, and what's happening is, just as, and I'm saying I'm trying to be modest as possible, but I'm just being truthful.
No, hey, listen, hold on, wait. Muhammad Ali had a saying that it ain't bragging if you can back it up. You got the receipts, man. You know, God didn't say you have to be. Listen, the truth. That's one thing. Something else that Katt Williams was talking about. He had a different phrase, but it was similar to something my grandmother always taught me. She said, "Jeannie, the truth needs no defense."
Right. Well, here we go. We're not selling anything. We're giving you experience, and we deserve to be catered at a high esteem level. And now people see it, people desire it, people want it. You know, so that's what's happening. So we're not selling you anything. We're not selling you Black History Month. We're not selling you, you know, anything of that nature. All we're saying is this is where we need to move forward from. You know, no knock on Carter G. Woodson in February 7th, 1926. He was a visionary. At that stage, he did what he could do to actually put us on the books. No one has done anything from that point to move forward.
And let me tell you a quick story that you may or may not know about Carter G. Woodson.
Go ahead.
You know when he started that Negro History week?
Correct.
It was young people, like kids who were like students who had saved up like nickels and gave to him so he could start that. So a lot of people don't know that very interesting fact. But it's all about, like you would, basically what you're saying, Brother Al, is that this whole event, it's about community, it's about our culture, experiencing culture, about fellowship and networking. It's about just supporting each other.
Correct.
And it's no, you know, and I say this so many times, no other culture apologizes for doing business with each other, for making sure that their culture is strong, for teaching. They have schools. Like my Jewish friends, I learned they call them yeshivas, where they teach the Jewish culture. They'll teach you reading, math, and writing, but they're also going to teach about the Jewish culture. Other cultures have something similar. So, but when we do it, other people have a problem. But I always say, I'm not gonna let your problem. That's a you problem, and never let a you problem become a me problem. So if people if they have trouble with us coming together as community, making a community stronger, making sure that our generation, we were just talking about kids and grandkids and great grandkids, it's up to us as the elders to make sure we teach them the true history, especially since you got politicians trying to ban Black history and ban books, and they don't want the truth taught because, it might make somebody feel uncomfortable. How the hell you think Black kids felt when they learned the truth about slavery and their ancestors lynched, raped, murdered, kidnapped? How do you think they felt? But it's the 100%. Truth. And the only way to keep things, horrible things that happened in the past, because life, things go in a circle. Just look the times that we're in now. Look a lot like the 1930s over in Europe, in Germany now. Right. So if you don't learn the mistakes of the past, you're doomed to repeat them in the future.
Repeat it. You're going to repeat it in the future. Definitely. So definitely, man, we're doing that. And that concert that night is, the bringing more of the modern day of Black American history, of Black America, so that way we can unify and unite everything. And then we actually partnered with Hollywood of Lux Cigars.
Yeah.
His neighbor unit.
Mr. Hollywood, my man.
Yep. Mr. Hollywood. So we're going to do that. And even with that, we're not saying everybody needs to smoke a cigar, but we want to educate on the luxury of a cigar from the other things that people are doing. There's a difference. And what we're here to do is educate in every aspect that we possibly can. And since we have a platform, we have a voice, we're going to scream it as loud. We're going to let people know.
And Dawn, is there any other specific details that you like to add about this 3-day event?
Absolutely. I want everyone to come with their pride hat on because we are here to celebrate. There's been so many times in the Gullah Geechee community where we've had to be embarrassed about our language, the way we dress, the way we talk, even the foods. I remember my grandparents talking about how you had to get an education because the way we sound, which is our culture, when they went out in the world, it was deemed ignorant, right? So it's our job to carry that torch for our ancestors. And we want to instill pride in our community. It is all about a celebration, us being prideful for what we have. And if we sow that small seed into our children, could you imagine in a mere 10 years what they're going to do in our community? So I want everyone just to come and be excited. Hang out with us for the whole weekend. We're going to praise. We're going to dance. We have some drummers. Like I said, we have food. We have art. We're offering everything for the community. We're just sowing seeds.
And Lendracy, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yes. From the 2nd to the 4th, we'll be at 406 Sigma Drive in Somerville. And then on February the 25th, we'll be at 3923 Azalea Drive. And we're going to have vendors, food trucks, probably try to get some drummers, African dancers, just an eventful day outside on the field, and let's just have fun with it.
So once again, Brother Kendrick, let everybody know where they can get the tickets because there's multiple events, but give them whatever website, digital platform, if they're going to be sold at brick and mortar locations, hair salons, barbershops, other places of business. Let everybody know where, if they're watching now and they want to get their tickets, or Monday, I think you said Monday is when can they pre-order now? Go ahead and give us all those details.
No pre-ordering on Monday. We're going to let everything go. So go to www.thecrategroup.org. Go to our Facebook on The Crate. My personal page, Kendrick Bannister, and pretty much just go ahead and get ready for it. We have a whole prospectus of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. It's only 2 things that's going to cost. The dinner and conversation with Dr. Eric of Claflin University, That's going to cost, and then the concert that night is going to cost. Everything else is free.
And that's the night of what, February?
The day of February 2nd, the evening of February 2nd, dinner with conversation with Eric, Dr. Eric, and then that February 3rd, that night, 7 o'clock, will be the concert, and that would be the only other cost. We're working on what we're going to do as far as admission fee to Jenkins Orphanage for that food truck drive. But the ultimate goal, this is a weekend now. Going in the next year, we already got things working on. We have our first HBCU baseball tournament in the Southeast. That'll be done next year with the likes of FAMU. Don is a graduate, engineering graduate for FAMU, with the likes of Morehouse. So we're gonna have those teams. They're ready. They're ready. Savannah State is ready. So they're ready to come for next year. So what you're seeing now is Gullah Harambe 2024. What you're gonna see in the next 3 to 4 years is the newest version of the Sabledo Festival, the Mosier Arts Festival, that nature. We're going for a whole 2-week thing. So it starts simplicity. We're starting off right here.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, Geno, you're the start. You're the first person to even get this information.
Well, listen, I'm humbled and honored because I know we had talked, privately, and when you told me about this HBCU baseball classic, I was so excited. And all the schools, I was talking about Shannon Sharp in my monologue. He's an HBCU grad. He went to Savannah State. I saw Sister Dawn repping the FAMU colors there.
Okay, champions. Yeah, let's not leave that out.
And there's so many HBCUs here in the state of South Carolina.
Absolutely.
How many do we have here in the state? I know it's around. Is the number 10 for some reason?
It's around. I think it's around 10 or 11.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So it's just so much rich history and culture. And the bottom line, we cannot depend on anybody else. We can't depend on any other culture to tell our story.
Yes. One more thing, Al, the proclamation.
Oh.
Don't forget the proclamation.
Yeah. Al, don't forget the proclamation, man.
So Geno, again, that's why you get the right people in the right places to do what they do, because once again, I just forgot. So to all the Geno Jones Show fans and to everybody who's listening, so the Civil Rights era started December 1st, 1955. Okay? Roundabout, give or take. Let's go with that. Mm-hmm. Well, something happened the summer of 1955. That was the Cannon YMCA youth baseball team. Those all-star kids did not get their just due to go to Williamsport to play in the championship merely because they were black.
Yep, the Little League World Series. Yes.
Little League World Series. So I'm gonna show you how good God is. I already knew what I wanted to do with that, but then as I did my research, guess who provided the funds in the bus for them to travel as they went from South Carolina up north?
Who?
Mr. Jenkins, who owned the Jenkins Orphanage.
Wow.
That part.
Wow.
Talked about full circle.
That part. So this thing is coming full circle.
Wow.
So with our new mayor, because I'm not gonna say mayor-elect no more.
Right.
Our new mayor, Mayor Burgess, we're working on a proclamation to actually give them their just due.
That's beautiful.
And then I want to say it's 3 of them that still remaining living now. We're working on finding other family members to actually give them their love, because technically this was before Emmett Till. This was before Rosa. This was before Martin March.
Actually, that was the same summer. 55, you said, right?
55,
same summer.
Was it 55 when they
55.
were denied? That was the same summer that Emmett Till was murdered.
So everybody knows about Emmett Till, but nobody knows about the injustice did for this year. So what we're gonna do is illuminate that, give them some love. So definitely, if you're in the surrounding areas of South Carolina, I don't care what part of it, be there. This is history being made.
Wow, that's great. All right, so once again, everybody, the website information where they can order tickets, and if there's a phone number, if people got any other questions, and your social media pages, just give all that, because we want them tickets to sell out like they were going to see Michael Jackson when he was doing the victory tour.
Yes.
When the girls caught on fire, and he was doing it out there with Jermaine and Tito. Yeah, all of that.
So information will be info@thecrategroup.org. Check our website out, www.thecrategroup.org. And then telephone number will be 843-900-7409. And then from there, and I'm going to be this brave. My personal number, 843-737-2062. Holla at your boy.
Don, he is brave, isn't he? Lynn
He
Tracy?
is brave. I'm not going that far, but I am Dawn Boren on Facebook, DAWNBOREN. Feel free to reach out to me. You can email me if you need to. It's Dawn, DAWNABOREN @gmail, and we are here to assist.
And Lynn Tracy?
I am Lindrecia. You can get information from me. My business line is 843-905-2010, or you can call Jenkins Orphanage at 744-1771.
Lynn Tracy ran that disclaimer. She's like, my business line.
Yes.
So I just don't get this thing confused now. Kent Al messing around, he gonna fool around and find out.
Yes.
Hey, Geno, I do want to give a special shout out. Dawn is also an author, man. She writes children's books in the Gullah Geechee format. So she is actually an author. So definitely shoot out your website for that, Dawn, so they can sell some books.
Yes, my books are Stories of the Gullah Geechee Children. It's a series, and my website is www.storiesggc.com. So I will be reading for the children that day. I read in Beaufort at the Gullah Geechee Heritage Corridor Festival, and I will be doing some reading that weekend.
And when you guys come back on like a week before the show, Kendrick's gonna bring Dawn, you on, and Lynn Tracy. So Don, you're not gonna be modest. I'm glad that Brother Kendrick had to call you out. So you're gonna tell us, give us a little more details about these children's books that you were writing. So
absolutely,
because a closed mouth don't get fed.
You're right,
Geno. A squeaky wheel gets the oil, and a closed mouth don't get fed. So
yes, that's right.
Listen, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Miss Lindrecia Danielle Wright, from the director of the Jenkins Orphanage, Dawn Boren. And of course, Kendrick, Brother Al Bannister with the Crate Group. Thank you guys. You already know what Kendrick he got a permanent home. He could be like a regular feature on the show. He come on whenever. But I appreciate you guys. Just this is so important. I know Kendrick. We talked about it. There's a special time here in the Low Country, especially with Mayor Burgess and his administration. There are a lot of great things happening, and in spite of all the dark forces of oppression and those who want to use the power of government to strip away freedoms and oppression, so many women have already had their reproductive freedoms stripped away. Here in South Carolina, 6-week abortion ban. Don't get me started. So it's so important that when you've got politicians and schools and people with just hateful, cultish, nefarious intentions, it's up to us to come together as a community, because that's how our grandparents and great-grandparents survived. If somebody in the community didn't have food, the community, there was a call out to the community. They would get fed. If they needed housing, they would get housing. No, I don't worry about no rent money. No. If you need housing, you and your kids, you got housing. If you need a job, if there's a sick kid, find a good doctor. That's who we are. And that's what's going to get us through this. We got to tell our own story, because they don't want to tell our story. And if they do, they're going to remix it and lie and say that they invented it when they didn't invent it. So
yes.
Correct.
I digress. I'm going to get off my soapbox. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year. And we'll see you guys back like a week before the event. Come back and give us a detail. And Kendrick, you can let me know. As a matter of fact, be sure to leave me that information, And if you guys want to be getting a TV commercial for the event, or it's, any kind of digital video that you'll be running, send it to me, because I'll be running it every day, twice a day on the show. So anytime someone watches the show, either live or on demand, whenever they get time, they'll see the ad. So I know you'll get that to me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Geno.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Get back on camera. Oh, it ain't over yet. I'm back. Here we go. I want to thank my guests for coming on tonight. Thank you for watching. God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, and God most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. So, there's going to tentatively, the next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Friday. There was not going to be a live show because I'm working on a special project that I would be involved with tomorrow, but I'm still going to squeeze in a live show. I'm pretty confident you'll see me live 6:30 p.m. If not, it's always the best of the Geno Jones Show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast, or anytime, because the Geno Jones Show is available 24/7, 365 days, or in a leap year like this year, 366 and a half days. Always here for you. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, the CEO of Designer Cuts in Goose Creek. Check him and his workout on Instagram. Kel be cutting up. KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. I call her the Drip Director. Check her out. Allie Jones on Instagram, lx.n like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, _ lx.n CL _ So until Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, thanks for watching, everybody. I love you.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.